415 forecast with Mid-Michigan's only live radar. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bryan Bachman.
All right, a very good Thursday evening to you, everyone. Your weather word of the day is microburst. The National Weather Service confirming that one occurred in southern Bay County earlier this afternoon as those storms rolled through. We've shown you the pictures of the damage left behind, but here's some video of it actually happening posted to our Facebook page earlier today by Lisa Ulrich. This coming in at 1:30 as those storms charged on through Essexville. You can see that powerful blast of winds there buffeting those trees, even the ones in the distance there. Even actually you see a branch breaking away in some of that video there. And of course, easy to see why the microburst was able to cause so much damage. But what exactly is a microburst? What are we talking about, or what are we dealing with here? Well, a microburst is defined as a localized column of rapidly sinking air, and it's only micro when you consider the overall scale of the atmosphere itself. They can be as wide as 2 to 2.5 miles, but when you compare that to, say, the size of a thunderstorm or certainly the atmosphere, that winds up being very localized. And they happen when we get a well-formed thunderstorm interacting with dry air in the middle to upper levels of the atmosphere. As that dry air filters into the thunderstorm, it causes the liquid in the clouds, be it raindrops or cloud droplets, to begin evaporating. That evaporation starts to cool the thunderstorm cloud. And as you get more and more of that cooling, the cool air then begins to fall out of the thunderstorm cloud and accelerates toward the ground, grabbing a hold of whatever raindrops or even hailstones in some cases were suspended in those clouds and rocketing them straight down toward the ground. When that rush of air hits the ground, it fans out in all directions and in many cases accelerates again as it moves across the surface. And of course, depending on where that microburst hits, how powerful it is, it leads to just about anything in its path at least potentially being damaged, or in some more extreme cases, it can completely fell trees, as it's not out of the question for winds to accelerate to 80 miles per hour or more in the case of some microbursts, and good chance that that occurred with today's one in the Bay County area. Thankfully, for all the damage we saw, no injuries were reported, but that's a little bit on exactly what we were dealing with as that event occurred. As far as the storms for tonight, they are beginning to refire here on the First Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar. You can see a lot of ground clutter here live from MBS, but what we're more focused on are these little blips of orange and yellow and this more intense storm off toward the southwest corner of Isabella County. That activity will become more numerous and continue to spread in from the west as we move on into the overnight period, largely due to the fact that, for one, it's still very warm and humid, and we also have a cold front parked overhead. But it is quiet for now in Flint. Current temps 71 degrees though, but the dew point not far off at 68. South winds at 5 miles per hour, and the barometer continuing to ever so slowly drop, now down to 29.85. On the First Warn 5 Sky Tracker, here's the cold front still draped over the region. That's going to get a little bit of a boost in moisture as we head into tomorrow, as now Tropical Depression Laura, some of the moisture breaks away from that system and filters north, while at the same time, this stalled front of boundary to our west gets on the move with an area of low pressure, and all of that converges on the region late tonight and on into tomorrow. So here's how it times out. Hour by hour forecast, 1 a.m. showing those clusters of storms building in from the west. I do expect they're going to make a bit more northward progress here. So realistically, anywhere from the Tri-Cities and US 10 through I-69 by about 3 a.m., you're likely to pick up some heavier downpours. Those will tend to become a bit more widespread as we hit the morning commute tomorrow. And then it's going to be periodic showers and thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon and again tomorrow evening. And I know this sounds familiar, but again tomorrow, the possibility is there for severe weather. Slight risk from the Storm Prediction Center from the Tri-Cities and Clara Mount Pleasant on southward. Strong winds going to be the main concern again, in addition to heavy downpours and possible hail. And an isolated risk also exists for folks along M55 and in the northern thumb. As for tonight, 67, your overnight low temp, as isolated storms give way to more numerous storms throughout the overnight period. Periods of rain and storms continue tomorrow, a muggy 79, but then finally for the weekend, some relief. Morning showers, then dry on Saturday, less humid 75, and we keep the sunshine and ditch the humidity in the 70s through Monday. David and Meg, back to you.